Hi. Hi. This is a reflection on lesson 133 in A Course in Miracles. It says, I will not value what is valueless. I will not value what is valueless. And it's talking about how, it's talking about a lot of things. But the things that stood out to me and struck out to me. Or the idea that there's an all or nothing with feelings, with pretty much everything, right? So it's like extremes. There's either something you value or something you don't, or a lack thereof. You can't half value something, like half of a value doesn't exist. And a temporary value is without all value. Like something is either all of it or none of it. So I'm way down in deep here. It says, first, if you choose a thing that will not last forever, what you chose is valueless. So it's all about our choices we make based on our values. So if I choose this career that makes a lot of money because I value financial stability or whatever that is, and that doesn't last forever, well, it's valueless. And maybe that's a bad example. I don't know. But it says a temporary value is without any value at all, or is without all value, so therefore it's valueless. Time can never take away a value that is real. What fades and dies was never there and makes no offering to you who choose it. If you choose to take a thing away from someone else, you will have nothing left. This is because when you deny that person's right to everything, you've denied your own. There's a lot here. So I will not value what is valueless is really calling us into question where we put our thoughts, attention, desire, what we value. All of that's based on what we value. So I will not value what is valueless. As if it's not everlasting, and if it is not serving other people, which also means it's both and, then it's not with value and it doesn't last. And then those that doesn't last are valueless anyway. So, oh man, it reminded me of, is it yesterday? Shoot, hold on. I can't pause. It won't pause. Or will it? Hold on. Okay, I think I got it. It took me a minute. I was like trying to figure out where I had heard this or what I had heard, and I had to like come back to me. So what it made me think of was wholeness. Because this is an all or nothing kind of lesson wherein people are always like moderation, don't go to extremes, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is about anything that isn't the fullness, that it's an illusion if it's not the thing that's full value. So what it makes me think of is how you can't, hold on, it almost left me again. Okay, so this belief, do you believe that you're fundamentally whole, or are you fundamentally broken? Like what do you believe about humans? Maybe not even just yourself. Think about humanity. Are humans fundamentally whole at birth and throughout life, or are you fundamentally broken? And that will shape how you see almost everything. So if I feel fundamentally broken, it means I'm constantly trying to find things to like fill those broken parts, fill the gaps, fill the cracks, fill the holes. Oh, I need that to make me feel whole. I need to bring that piece in to make me feel whole. I'm always looking out there and trying to bring it in. Like I'm always maybe trying to adopt a new practice, read a book that will make me just fill up and all these things. Or if you believe that you're fundamentally whole, it's a process of subtraction, stripping away, what doesn't belong in order to reveal the true whole self that's always been whole, always there, just obscured by all this crap. Whereas the other way, if you're fundamentally broken, you're just trying to add the crap. So I think you know which way I believe. I think we're fundamentally whole. And so now it's a matter of subtraction. Get stripping things down to their bare essence, back to who we really are, because society, the world, culture, whatever, ourselves has put stuff in the way of that, obscured our true nature. And we just need to strip away what isn't of our true nature. Now, how did I make the leap from I will not value what is valueless to are you fundamentally whole, or do you believe you're fundamentally broken? And I think it's the extreme part of that. There's an either or, and it will color how you view and how you most things and how you approach life in general. So I will not value it as valueless if I keep putting my attention into things that really they hold no value long term. And remember, it said if there's temporary value, there's no value at all. It's not everlasting. So what is something that has value? I think I keep trying to find that. I've been in this process and a lot lately of strip away, and trying to just like bare essence stuff, like anything that feels like it's like attaching to some idea or practice or belief system is like giving my power away. I'm giving that thing all the power. I'm giving that practice all the power. And it's like what's left at the end of the day is just pure essence. You don't even have to speak a word. You don't have to think a thought. It's just resting in presence, in the here and now, literally doing nothing. And some people are like, well, that's boring. You got to have a personality, and you got to our self will rise back up to like express itself. And that's fun too in the moment. And then the peace and calm comes when you're like, okay, let's settle back down. But it's not just that. It's so much happens in that stillness. It's so alive and active, yet not. It's a paradox. So how did I get there? I don't know. I think just stripping away everything that's not meant to be here is very illuminating. And also, it's like the thought came to me right before starting this recording was like, that was a quote from The Matrix where it's like, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes, is a phrase that came to mind, like the bottom is always dropping out in a good way. It can be scary, but it's like just when you think you're like, oh, I got it. And then it's like whoosh. And then we go down another layer or go into another dimension of awareness and presence and revelation and healing. And it feels never ending. And then you get into this process of trusting that when I get a little comfortable with after an aha moment, it's like, uh-oh, guess what's on the other side of this? Guess what's next? Who knows? It's a mystery. And then the bottom drops out again. Man, this gets hard to talk about because it's all experiential. It's all like, oh my God, I have to tell you guys something. Nobody's listening at this point. We're already 9 minutes in. This is my own personal journaling, I guess, today. Lesson 133 opened like a can of worms or dropped me down the rabbit hole. So this morning I was reading. What was I reading? No. Or I was listening to something, and I don't know, somebody said a quote or something, and my whole world just went, it wasn't even about the quote. It was about how the essence of the quote was a both and. It was a paradox as well. And I had this visceral experience of And it made me nauseous. A lot of times these things make me nauseous. Like, whoa, I feel like I'm turning inside out. Like I just want to puke in a good way. And had this like turning inside out visceral kind of thing. And a lot of these things for me do that. It's a turning inside out of the self. It's like a metaphor, but it's real. It's visceral. I feel it in my guts. And so this one was like, I had this sensation. It wasn't even a visual. It was just all sensation, visual here. It was all of the things all at once of like something just, it reminds me now in hindsight, it was like a sphere feeling. I don't even know how to say it. A sphere feeling, but like think of like when in those movies where a bookcase becomes a hidden doorway and somebody pushes the button and it goes, and as a young person you're like, whoa, there's something so amazing about seeing that as a young person. Like it's just like, what? Nowadays you're like, whatever, it's a bookcase that turns into a door. It's been done. I've seen it a million times. But as a kid, the first time or so you're seeing that, it's like revealing, it's this revelation. And so this feeling I had this morning of like a sphere-like feeling turning and looking back at itself, and like basically the essence was like, all things are true always, And so it's like you can't, at some point you just can't attach or grasp onto anything, and you're just in a constant free fall. The bottom is always dropping out because the bottom doesn't exist. And that's what makes this hard to talk about. So anyway, lesson 133, I will not value what is valueless. We just have to remember that, like, what do you value? What do you value? It could be like from the superficial level all the way down to like, even if I say I value love, obviously. And it's like, well, if that's the case, can you just love something a little bit? Can you? Like how much love? This amount, right? It could fit right here. I love just a little bit. No, love is like all or nothing, right? Oh, I love them a little bit. I love them a little bit. Check yourself. Like, really question that. You might have people you prefer to hang out with and other people you definitely don't, but you still maybe love them as a person. You say those things, right? Well, I love them. But I really love this person, and I love them a little bit. Like, that doesn't make sense, does it? Isn't that weird? All or nothing. I will not value what is valueless. Okay, this is trippy. I gotta go. Bye.